Hey there, happy Saturday everybody. So hey, we're gonna get these heads on this 4.7. Customer's gonna be here a few hours. We got lots of time. We got the block here up on the table. Probably gonna do a lot of speed laps, hyper wiper, whatever you want to call it. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are using new head bolts. These are torque to yield. They recommend replacing them because they do stretch, so they get thin and weak. These come with condoms on them. They don't want them to multiply in the box, so they make you buy more. And they are pre-lubed, so we're not lubing them at all. Okay, so we're gonna put the heads on. These are a multi-layer steel gasket. There's different layers of steel, not like the old composite gaskets. So I like to spray these with this stuff. It helps seal. It doesn't seal the compression, but it will seal it from seeping out the water. And they will self-seal. Some people clean off the block and tape it and mask it and blah, blah, blah. Spray the gasket, okay? It's a lot easier. So what I do is I put my hand in the bag it comes in. And I just hold the gasket with it. I'm gonna go over here so I don't get it everywhere, because the shop is super clean. Yeah. Just want to coat both sides of the gasket. Nice coat on it. There's no... I'm not trying to make this pretty. Even though it does look pretty. Hope you can hear me. Like I said, this is only to seal the little seeps of water that might occur. And then there again, when they do, it will self-seal. David's got the one head, he's coming over with it. Hey, we got a new timing set for this, but this comes all assembled. There's a big C-clip here. I got to remove that C-clip and take these gears apart to actually put it on. I'm not going to film that. Okay, now we're ready to torque it. I didn't tell you guys, make sure these pins are up or you'll bend all the valves. Then you'll be back. So now they're already torqued to 20. Now he's going to stretch them. These are the stretch bolts. And you'll hear the torque wrench. Now that's 90 degrees. I had to take a second mortgage out in my home to buy that torque wrench. If you'd have told me 20 years ago a torque wrench was $900, I'd have laughed at you. Now who's laughing? We need it though. I mean, this gives the degrees. You could put in any degree you want on this wrench, and it knows somehow. It's more alien technology. The little bolts in the front here, we'll torque those after the head's torqued. I don't think that's how the instructions say to do it. That's how we do it. I think they say to pull this 90, or maybe even the 20, and then torque them. We torque them last. They're just clamping the front of the head down. It's no more than a valve cover. Now we're going for the second stretch. So we do it 90 degrees 2 times, which is a half a turn total. These bolts are like rubber bands. I'm not a fan, but they do hold. You really need to replace them. If it says, if it's a torque to yield bolt, they need to be replaced. It's just all there is to it. The old small block Chevrolet bolts. Shit, you can use them 5, 6, 7 times, 10 times. I haven't used them that many times. They're a good sturdy 7/16 bolt. They torque at 70. Tell us what the final torque is, David. This wrench tells us 5 pounds. What's it saying the final pull is?
Around 80.
So this is taking them to 80 pounds. This wrench also tells us the final torque value. Okay, we're going to go back on the warp mode. Everybody, I know it's early, so please, if you're going to be sick, look away, okay? So we have to check this spur gear to make sure it has clearance on this bolt. We have to check the clearance in here. If you don't have clearance in here, feels good. David's going to check it with a feeler blade.
That's 4,000.
4,000, so that's good. If this is tight, what will happen is it'll tighten this bolt, and this bolt will snap off. So make sure your timing sets on these 4.7s have clearance on that spur gear. One more thing before you put your pump on, make sure to put some oil in the inlet. That'll get it to pick up right away. You'll burn this pump up if you don't pre-prime it, okay? This is a milling pump, good pump. So let's get going here. So the pump just slides on here. David can do it because I can't. I'm stupid. No, I'm not stupid. Maybe Dave. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to just film this whole timing assembly. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. These engines are a bit complicated, but it's like a jigsaw puzzle. All the pieces got to fit. You can't have any extra pieces, okay? It doesn't work out if you got extra pieces. So the pump goes on. This is a tensioner. Now we have the gear that runs the chains, that run the gear that runs the other chains.
Come on.
I'll take this one. Lots of oil on everything. You have to check on these 4.7s. In 2002, halfway through the year, they changed this gear. They changed the windows, I don't know why, just to piss me off. So if you have a 2002, you have to know what month it was manufactured, or you have to have it apart to know what gear to take. This runs a cam sensor in this head, right there in this hole. That picks up on these little windows here as it spins around. Maybe it'd be better if we time lapse for a minute, huh? Or will you guys get dizzy again? Now there's marks down here. Just paying careful attention to get that link lined up with that red mark. That red mark, we put the red mark on there because all it has is a dot. And it's hard to see when everything's assembled. This is the timing rail that kind of hangs onto the chain. It has nothing to do with the tension of it. It just kind of is there to keep the chain from bouncing. Wow, wow. And this is actually the side of the chain that runs the tensioner. That's what holds this chain tight. You have a tensional failure, the chain slips, bend your valves. Okay. I'm in the way, I guess. Switch sides here. Do-si-do. There again, that's the other side. And we're going to have a rail and a tensioner rail. That's the tensioner rail he's putting on. It's on the bottom on this side because of the rotation. And it's on the top side of this side. A tensioner is going to go in here. That's what it looks like. And we're back. I guess he didn't have the right socket. Happens to the best of us. You know, men, sometimes you just don't have the right equipment, right? Hey now, mind out of the gutter again, people. It's not what we're talking about. David's thoroughly disgusted with me. Now this is the straight tensioner. You're not in the way? You are. Oh, I'm in the way. Am I in the way, people? No. Hey, wait till you see what today's sponsor is. I think you're gonna, you're in for a treat, people. And if you believe that, I got some swampland to sell you. I'm sure there's a torque specification for these. We tighten them. They're just simple bolts. Remember, okay, these got to line up with a colored link. See those? That's the right side with colored links. And then this one will line up on the left mark. This does not have a cam trigger on it. Now we got the tensioner going on, your right side. Engines have really come a long ways on all the pieces they put on the timing. There's so many places to fail. They don't usually on this engine. This engine's a pretty good engine as far as the timing living a long time. The thing is, you just gotta change your oil, keep your oil changed, and don't get it hot. Most engines will last a very long time. Okay, this left tensioner takes this plate because it doesn't quite cover up the holes that feed the oil to it. Those are oil fed from the oil pump. The pressure of the engine obviously feeds the crank rods, heads, and it controls these tensioners. Next we're putting a small chain on, and this gear I had to remove to get those other chains on. You can't get it up over this, so we have to remove it. And I don't know why it's packaged all assembled like that. Just part of their process. You can see these are kind of these bolts don't have a shoulder on them. They have a Torx, and they just kind of float here. They float back and forth. as the engine's running. Okay, well, let's get that final chain on. And it's got colored links, as well as this is marked. See with a dot there. The crank sprocket will have a dot as well. David's inspecting everything to make sure everything's still lined up, because it has to be lined up. Double, triple check this, guys, because it's not going to run if it's on wrong. Okay. Okay, now he's going to roll it up to absolute top dead center. We're just a few degrees off. Crank gear. He's lining these up. And you can move those slightly if pins are up. You do have a little bit of rotation before you start touching valves on pistons. A little bit of fine tuning here and there. This is easier if I'm pushing the gear and he's turning. I'm trying to film here. Show you guys what's going on. I'm going to turn the camera off and give him a hand. Okay, we got that gear on. Now we have to put this clip back on it that retains this gear right here. These are just they're just lined up dot to dot. See if there, the dot on the top corresponds with the dot on the bottom. And the links are colored, just like the upper chains. And get the clip on there. There, we heard it snap in. It's always a good sign. So now all we got to do is torque these, and we'll take some 90 pounds, like I said. We'll take some final photos. All right. Okay, we just double, triple checking all the marks. Check the marks. Check them 4 or 5 times. Put your finger in the way of the camera. Good idea. So we're lined up here on the R with the coated links. Here on L, left head, coated links. We already showed you this mark and that mark. It's really hard to see those marks inside there. Almost impossible. The only thing left we have to do is pull these pins. Now these are the tensioners. We'll pull that pin, and you got to run like hell when you pull that pin, people, because you know what happens when you pull the pin out. Hey, you know I'm just being stupid. Okay, here's this one down here. We could pull this one unassisted. That's okay to pull that one. These, don't pull them. Hang on to your chain. Go ahead, David. Give it a pull and let it out easy. It'll over ratchet on you. The same with this one. Hold that tensioner and pull them. There, I think the finger again. Looking good, huh? I'll take some stills for you. Okay, now we're going to put these heat tabs on there. These melt if the engine gets to 250 degrees. David put one on that head. Now he's going to put one on this head. And then we put 2 on the block, 1 on each side. Once again, if you get this engine hot and come back and tell me that, you know, something happened, I'm going to say you got it hot. Okay. So, you have a new engine here, right? It doesn't mean it's going to solve all your problems. You're going to have your radiator looked at. I definitely want you to get a new water pump, thermostat. You know, you're going to need a lot of parts to go with this engine. Or it's going to fail. You know, if you have a bad water pump or a radiator, you know, a fan that doesn't come on, this engine ain't going to like it, and it's going to blow the head gasket. So take care of your engine. It's a big investment. Now for today's sponsor. Sponsored by Vegemite. Now, I guess this is an Australian treat. They have it on crackers and a toast instead of like a jam or something with their coffee. They say it's good. Let's give it a try. So. Okay. Let's get a lot because I'm sure it's going to be really good. Look at that. It's layered on there. Okay. Let's go. It's really good. Oh, look at me. Turn it off! Turn it off! Surface is in the manifolds. These manifolds are very, very warped. Check your manifolds on anything you're rebuilding, okay? So these are nice and flat now. They're very rusty. That rust won't come off unless you wire buff them, but these will work great because they're flat now. I put this hoist up, buried in the ground right there. So he's getting the engine. He's going to bring it over here and put it on this tire, and then we'll head out to the forklift. Hey, so that's going to do it. We got it out. Customer's loaded up on his way. He's going to get her running. If you're new here and want to catch up, up above my head, there should be a link to my other videos. This is the 6th in this series. There ain't no link up there. I don't know how to make a link. Anyways, we're all done here. You guys have a great day, and be kind to one another, okay? Doesn't hurt you, and it's free. All right, bye.